Welcome to this episode of my Women Empowerment Wednesday show. My name is Jessica DSB. Enjoy this episode.
Yeah, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Yay. I'm so excited because technology hasn't been on our side. So yes, we are live. Go and hopefully everything works out. Perfect. For everybody, welcome. Happy Wednesday. My name is Jessica. For those that do not know me, I'm a flight attendant for the past 10 years. I'm a single mom to a beautiful 7-year-old daughter. I am a co-author in a second book coming out, and also running my online business, also being a coach, loving life, world passionate traveler. So I'm super excited to be joining you today and inviting you to join us and introducing our special guests. Before I do that, if people are just joining us this week, this is a Women Empowerment Wednesday Facebook Live that I've been doing for the past almost 9 weeks. My God, time flies. And every week we have a special guest and we have conversations that are empowering, touching, and empowering, inspiring, touching. And having fun, right? And learning, and really in these tough times right now, uncertain times, just to add a bit of sunshine, right, Melanie? So let me introduce you, Miss Melanie Kis, that is joining me today. She runs her online business as well. She's runs social media marketer. And you know what? I didn't even pull up your bio in front of me. I haven't been prepared for this. I'm being raw. This is what's happening right now. Happily married. So I'm going to say what I know of her. Happily married, beautiful 2 sons, passionate world traveler, and also travel blogger. So let's all welcome Melanie on this Facebook Live today.
Thank you. I love it. Live. No being perfect. No, that's not good. Life's not perfect. So that's awesome. Thanks for having me. You're so awesome.
Thank you for being on. And I love the beach and the sunshine and the light on your head. I absolutely love it.
My last travel. That's where we were, on the beach in Florida.
Right. Oh my God, that's so cool. So just a little bit of information. I know Melanie from co-working with her. We're both flight attendants, and we had the luxury many times to be actually on a beach in LA and be bike riding and enjoying life, right?
Yes, we had a blast. Oh my God, it was so much fun. Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So tell me a bit more about you, and then we will get into the topic that we wanted to talk about today.
Sure. So like Jessica said, my name is Melanie Kis, and I am a mom of 2 boys. I own an online business as well as a travel blog. And I've probably been touching the online world now for the past 6 years, but only in the past probably over a year and a half really found my niche, my element, my exactly where I wanted to be. So it's kind of nice to see all the work unfold and come to life, and see the success soaring every day. So it's nice to see all the hard work being put in, and then something coming out of it. So yeah, I'm really at a really happy place right now.
And I love that in your bio, you added living life abundantly.
Yes, in all aspects of life, right? So not just business, but family life and life with my husband, and more so time at home right now, which happened. I'm happy that the time at home happened for me a year ago. So that's kind of nice. And now even more so at home. But I am truly enjoying the time. Absolutely. That's where I wanted to be. So it's kind of nice that it's finally happening.
Yes, yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So we wanted to talk about fear today, and there's so much to talk about. Like we could literally be talking about it all day. And what came up when we were thinking about that topic is, of course, we are in right now in very uncertain times, especially in our work environments, but also as far as income and time with your family. How is it going to go at home with the kids and the husband and being single? Like there's so many things that we are living in fear right now. And I think it's just such an amazing topic to cover because there's so much to say. So let me hear what you wanted to share about that.
Absolutely. And I fear is always present in so many people. And I think depending on the person, the degree of the fear may be higher or lower depending on the person. And obviously the tactics, I'll say, that people take to try to face those fears, because you could face them and then move forward, or you could just repress on the fear and then just never move forward. I believe in the topic of business, fear, I think often is due to lack of knowledge or education on what people are jumping into. I think it's important that when people decide to go that direction, it's just to be well informed and get all the proper information. And I think it's normal, right? There's so many things that are out there. So just to educate yourself and obviously do something that you're passionate about, but also have to have an open mind that that's not the sole focus, right? So if you're always focusing on the actual fearful part of starting, then you might have a hard time just starting. And then if you do decide to face your fear and do start, but always hang on to that fear that it may never work, well, probably won't work either. So it's something that you have to work on as you go along. So we hear often people just say, go at 100%, which can be true for so many people. But if you're just starting out and you're not sure, having that backup, we'll say, while you're trying to create whatever business that you want, while working on those fears, might be helpful. And then as you're working on your fears, to be able to detach yourself from it, you gain that confidence. And that's often what happens is you gain the knowledge, you gain the confidence, and then you're moving forward, that fear slowly, goes away. And then that job that you wanted to get rid of, then you could get rid of, and then move forward with your actual business. But there's kind of this transition, right? That fear of being able to leave something, that comfort is something that people fear of leaving, which is normal, right? But you have to consider what is so important to you. Like, what is it that you're truly trying to achieve? So for some, like I know for myself, it was time at home with the boys. And then, like I briefly said before, last year I had the privilege, because working in the airline industry, every fall, the airline we work for, Air Canada, offers part-time work. And I was senior enough and I was financially stable enough to be able to take that part-time work. And it was kind of like a nice little stepping stone to what is to come. And now that we're not working at all, I'm like, oh my goodness, that fear of leaving that comfort is kind of like, I'm going to be okay. I don't need to hold on to that. So it's a lot of work. I'm like, this is such a brief little nugget of it all. I mean, we could really dig deep, but yeah.
So you had a vision of being more home with the family, and you took that, okay, let me start my own business, my online business. So there was fear, right? There was fear there, right, for you?
I never had fear in starting a business.
Okay.
Okay. What I had fear of is the financial security of having an online or a business, I should say, because actually I started a business after my first son was born, which was 11 years ago. My husband and I owned a wine making store, and I also owned a aesthetic spa. So it was, brick and mortar type of business, and we were going at it full tilt, and it took a lot of time, and I learned a lot from it. Anyways, we ended up closing, and then about 6 years ago, over 6 years ago, I dove into online business, but not that I was searching for it. It kind of fell into it. And I learned from it. And that's when in my head, it was like, oh, that's it. I want to leave, the airline industry, but I had no plan. And every time I thought of leaving, I was very fearful because I had no plan. And it ended up not being the business model that I was looking for. And so I went to school and learned NLP, and then I learned online marketing. And everything came at the right moment. I learned more, and then I was able to find something that I could offer my clients by always staying very active in social media for the last 6 years. So then finding something and then putting it all into action. And now that I have something tangible and have a good plan, and I'm educated on many different aspects, that fear of leaving something of comfort is kind of gone. It helps. It definitely helps that the financial part is there. That's for sure. I think that's probably a huge thing for many people, but yeah, it's a work in progress. Like, if I'm talking to you now, it may sound like it was done overnight, but it's like, it's been 10 years, right? Yeah. So.
And we all have fears, right? It's not like
I
was sharing a few weeks ago, or probably on every call, like to start this movement, I was terrified. I could not do this, right? All these thoughts in your head. And thanks to Jamie that we started this together, I kind of alleviate a bit of my fear, like, okay, I have somebody to, rely on. But then I continued this movement by myself. And last week was my first time by myself without Jamie. And now my second time this week, I'm still terrified. I'm like, but I read this yesterday as I was preparing. If we wait until we're ready, we will wait all our lives, right?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, everybody has fears, whether you're old, you're young, you're a woman, you're a man, everybody has fears. And in order to go over those fears, you have to take action, right? Like you were saying.
Yeah. I feel blessed in the sense that I think I've always had this attribute. Like I've always been an action taker. I always remember telling myself, even when I was younger, one day I'm going to own a house. One day I'm going to move here. One day I will do this. And it might have taken a long time to maybe get there, but I knew that I would eventually do it. And even if it may not have worked, I had to try it. I had to take that action, try it out. And then from there go, oh yeah, this is totally me, or this is not me. Because every time I do something, I learn from it, and then I'm able to add on to it, or, so yeah, I totally agree with you. Taking action, sometimes just informing yourself. Like I see some people, they don't even take the time to get the information, and I'm just like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like
it's out there.
It's interesting. So, but yeah, taking action is definitely and here's something maybe people don't know about me, but I used to have like anxiety going to work. High anxiety. I didn't know who I would fly with. I would have anxiety and I didn't like it. And I always pushed and I always went and I always did it. And then, anxiety is social media. We're out there all the time, putting ourselves out there. That I was able to get rid of that kind of anxiety really fast, because I know that I'm doing something good for people, and I'm confident enough to be like, well, if you don't like it, well. Well, you know what?
My part.
You're gonna you find your people, right?
Yes.
You find your people. So
Find your tribe. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So what made you go from owning a traditional business to switching to online? Was there a specific reason, or it just happened to happen that way?
It just kind of happened that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the brick and mortar type of business, we learned a lot from it, but I would never do that again. Like owning a space, rent is crazy, and obviously the time that you have to put in. So you know, and I remember always saying, oh, it'd be so nice to have like a little breakfast place, but now that I've done businesses, I wouldn't. And I think we've learned a lot from, you know, being confined, that if the only way you could run a business is by seeing people face to face, well, if people can't see you anymore, your business could go out of business. So I would never do that again. But the way I fell into online business is actually I was suffering from chronic inflammation, and I was just looking for a fitness program. Actually, I was looking for anything that could save me. And I found someone online who was offering a program. So I tried it out. It worked. It's a great program. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing program. But the business side of it, I did not like in the long run. And I just decided to just kind of slip out of there. Still use it, but just not the direction that I wanted to go. And it's fine. I learned a lot from it, but that's how I started the online world.
Amazing. And now the current business that you're running, who told you about this opportunity?
Well, again, it was just something that I saw online. So in between leaving the last business and what I'm doing now, there's actually like a good 2 years span there. And I went to school and then I took NLP classes, which is neuro-linguistic programming, and did a lot of inner work. And I took online marketing courses. So learning how to create websites and funnels and emails, automations, and all that lovely techie stuff. But it's very, very time consuming to put all of that together. And I was talking to my web designer who was helping me out, and she was saying, you need to find something. Like everything that's out there, there's always a product that's attached to a link that's attached to someone. So you need to be that person that's attached to something that people could just go on your website and create that business that's kind of just working in the background for you while you're working at other things as well. So I was searching, like, what can I do? I didn't know what. There's so much out there, and then I saw somebody again on Facebook posting their success in their business, and I was curious. I educated myself on it.
Yes.
And I knew right away what it was, because it was everything I had done in the past, everything that I had studied, and it was all put together. So I always talk about the main 3 elements for successful online business is having an online system. And I was really grateful because that one was mostly done for me. And then having the right products so you could generate a good revenue. And then the marketing. So marketing is always changing. So having, like, first of all, a few tools, and then a team, and then people to kind of boost you and help you know the direction that you're going. So it just happened that I knew already quite a bit about marketing. So that side is nice. It's the fun side that I like. It's the creative side of things that I like, but at least the other things are kind of taken care for me. So there's a lot into a business, but I always say these 3 key elements, if you have them, your business should be like skyrocketing. So of course it takes time. Trust me, people, it does not happen overnight. If you ever hear people saying it happened yesterday and I became a millionaire,
But we can use any other example, like a marriage doesn't happen overnight, going to the gym, getting fit doesn't happen overnight. I think it's the same thing with finances. It does not happen overnight. You have a vision, you have to go
Yes.
beyond that fear and just take action. And I think that's the great message that we have for you all viewers today. And I'm welcoming Manon that's watching, Saida, Lison, Julie, some Air Canada colleagues are watching. Some welcome, welcome, welcome. But I think right now in this current situation, online business is like it's the way. Like my heart is sold on it, but it's just like it just makes sense. And like you were saying, there's a lot of opportunities out there. But again, people will be stopped by their fear, by the ideas that they have, or maybe this, or somebody told me this. So what's the one thing that you would tell someone that's watching or that will be watching this video and that has that fear of getting started at something?
Sure. So where's that fear stem from? Where does it stem from? Is it something that you heard as a child your entire life? Right? So often there are things in our lives that we stop from moving forward because we were told by our parents or a neighbor or a friend or anyone, right? And for some reason it's stuck in your head, and then you grew up and then that situation pops up and it keeps you from like, so to know where it stems from and then kind of dealing with those feelings of where that came from, to be able to like break those chains. Like, no, like I think a lot, like, society, money is dirty, money is no good, money is we hear things like that, but what's wrong with making money? You're able to return the money that you made into your community. You're able to feed yourself. You're able to pay your bills. Like, money is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But for some reason, from a long time ago, I'm sure all of you, many of you would have heard it. I mean, there are books written on this, that people look at money as a bad, dirty thing, and it's not. So where does that come from? And then, anyway, I did a lot of inner work on myself. So I'm telling you, there are things that came up and I was like, oh, that's where it came from. Holy moly. Right?
One of my favorite quotes from one of my mentors is money is like oxygen. You breathe a lot better when you have it. And money is not negative. It just gives you option, the freedom to be able to stay home with your husband, staying home with your kids, be able to give back to the community. It just gives you options. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you need money. You're going to spend it and it's going to come back. You have to be able to give it for it to come back to you. So things that, here's another topic, money and fear and people business. And then because I've had this question asked before and they're like, well, what does it cost? And you're like, well, you're starting a business. If there's no cost, I'd be very cautious about starting a business, right? So that always kind of like triggers my,
yes,
no, I'm sorry. If you see a business that doesn't cost anything, here. But that's easy way out, right? It's like taking a pill to lose weight. No, there's work to be put into it. There are products to purchase, maybe, or gym membership or whatever it is, right? You have to spend that money to get the results that you're looking for. So it's interesting I've learned a lot about people, but what I love about my business is that I'm not running after people anymore, because I have those three elements now, and people are coming to me, which is nice. And that is something that I appreciate and absolutely love.
I love it.
Speaking of money, I have a great app, people. Okay. Want to work on your money issues?
Share it. For everybody that's watching, comments in the comments, let us know you're here. Send us some love. Also, oh yes.
I think I shared that with you when we.
Yes, I have that app. I love it. It sends me notification. Time to cash your check.
Yes. Oh my God.
So tell us about that app. So for those that don't know about it.
Okay, so it's in my spiritual box with all my other ones. Yeah. So it's called the Secret to Money. Oh, Oh, geez, it's not showing very well.
It's yes, for those that don't know the secret, there you
Yeah.
can find the movie on YouTube, and the apps on the App Store or the other store for the other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
But it's great, and it's all about mindset, right? Go ahead.
it's all about mindset, but it also, it's crazy how certain feelings will come up, right? So every day when you open this application, there's a check, a virtual check for you to deposit and make purchases. You're not keeping it, not saving it like a squirrel, like you actually have to spend it, right? And it starts with small amounts and it gets bigger and bigger. And then I know when I first did it, I was like, oh, I can't spend it on that. I have mortgage or like these feelings. And I'm like, it's virtual. It's not even real. But these feelings would come up. And it was interesting to see exactly how I would react to spending, say, $50,000. Like, oh, I've never spent $50,000 in one shot. Like, what the heck, So yeah, and then of course there's affirmations inside, and in that app for you to work on your inner self. It's good.
Going back on living abundantly.
Yes.
So I know you're in that process of creating the life that you want to live, that you love, and that's filled with abundance. And what does that life look like for you?
Lots of love from a lot of people, happiness, time with my children. So I purposely use this background today because, like I said, in the past year, I've been working part-time because I was able to. And then in February, I really wanted to start traveling a lot more with my kids. So one thing that I never did as a flight attendant, believe it or not, is not travel with my kids because we had all kinds of businesses. We couldn't take off, right? So finally, traveling with them, hence then the travel blog. But anyways, that's another story. But that's the thing that I wanted to do with them, to the point where I was like, okay, can I maybe homeschool them so we can travel more often? But anyways, everything is kind of stopped. But that's living abundantly, being able to show them the world that I've seen, and then for them to experience it, and then me being able to see them experience all these beautiful places, so living abundantly, be the time for me to be able to do the things that I want to do. Like I said before, I'm a kind of a action taker. There's something that I have in mind that I want to try, I want to do. Well, I need that time to do it. So it's kind of nice that I'm able to get there and have it a balanced life. That was my biggest issue probably like 2-3 years ago, where I burnt out. Like I needed a balanced life. I need to be able to spend time with my family, work on my business because I actually love it. I love this. What we're doing, I love this. Like this whole social media, this whole online world, this whole personal growth that's happening, like all of it. I just love it. I want time to work out. I want time with my husband. I want time to go for a walk without worrying like, oh my God, I got to rush back because I got to go to work or I got to go do this. So that for me is living abundantly, and all that with lots of love and happiness. I know a lot of people may struggle during these times of COVID, but I have never been happier. Never been happier.
I was going to say, I haven't felt so, apart from like giving the actual hug to my mom, which I can't wait. I feel so connected.
I know.
Connected to people with the Zoom, with the Facebook and Instagram, the like phone calls, FaceTime. There's so many ways to get connected with people, communities, like right now we're connecting with Facebook community, right? Like so many people are watching or will be watching. I feel so connected, and I want to be able to contribute. And I know you're that type of person as well. So it's just, yes, so many people are struggling, but I'm inviting people to be watching this movement and empower the people around you, because you do have that power inside of you. I acknowledge I have that fear. Just put it aside and be that powerful person that you are, because you are powerful and you can empower. You can bring happiness and joy in your people around you in your lives, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of people have that power within them. They just need to shine it out. And I think it starts with one person at a time. Fortunately, hate is really strong. So, and all of this, I think, brought a lot of people together, right? A lot of people connecting, like you said, and sharing more love and joy and happiness to push away the negative and reevaluate everything that's important in life. So, yeah, absolutely. I agree.
I was just thinking of sparkling some happiness, sparkles everywhere.
Happiness. There you go. Let's sparkle happiness everywhere. Why not?
I'm inviting you all that you're watching to do the same. And I just want to go back to what you were saying about balance, because we talked about it, I think the second week or the third week with Mrs. Jocelyn Driscoll about priorities in life. And she had her top 3 priorities: God, family, and business, right? And I think at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the balance, because if we're completely balanced, we're dead. But it's about living on your own terms and really creating, okay, this much time with my family, this much time on my, and it's never going to be perfectly perfect.
No.
But it's really creating that life that you want to live, because everybody has different dreams, have different visions, different circumstances. So it's just about being that creator of what your days look like.
Absolutely. Exactly. And that's why you can't force anyone doing things that they are not ready for. Things will all come at the right time and at the right moment. So, exactly, you can't, nothing is perfect balance, but it's being that creator of your own life. And I know it takes time. I know for me it took time, but I finally feel that I created it, and creating anything takes time, right?
Yes.
One building block after the next. So once that is built, you're like, and it just continues after that. I mean, it's not like, oh, my business is successful, it just stops and I just sit there and, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and I think that's where the peace comes. You're just like, this is what it's going to be like. This is it. And I'm happy with this.
I love it.
Yeah. Right?
I love it. So we're going to slowly wrap up, because
yes,
like 30 minutes.
We could talk forever. This is not a 6-hour flight where we talk forever.
Not a 6-hour or like an afternoon by the beach on our bicycles.
Yes. Yes.
But
yes.
we will be doing it again.
Yes. Yes.
But
on our own terms.
On our own terms. What I'm hearing, what you're saying today is we all have fears. We have to take action. And I'm also hearing that go get the information. It's out there.
Yeah. Education.
And take that journey inside of you, right? To look at what's happening, what am I, thinking about myself, and what do I want to create for my life? Am I correct?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
if you can't work on your inner self, it doesn't matter what you do. You got to work on your inner self.
And last week we were talking about self-love. If you're not loving yourself, you can't love other people and be in healthy, relationships. So really take the time to look within yourself, take the time to love yourself and do things that you love. It feels amazing.
It does. Absolutely.
I want, before I let you speak a last few words before we end, I have 2 quotes that I took out yesterday about fear, and we touched on it already, but there's 2 definitions of fear. So number 1, it could be false evidence appearing real, which is, really you're inventing these fears. Or Absolutely. You can face everything and rise and really become that person that you want to become, because you're that creator, right? I love those quotes. And then the other one that I found is, thinking will not overcome fear, but action will. And that's W. Clement Stone that wrote that. So I love this guy. Last few words, Melanie, that you'd like to share for these viewers that will be watching or currently watching. Everybody that's watching, hello, my God, Lydia, Farah, Trevor, Yanni, Costa, hello, everybody. And please, please, please comment. Let us know what you liked about this episode today.
Yes.
If you're watching this next week, share it with the people that you love. Comment what you'd like to hear in the next upcoming weeks. And I'm going to let you say a last few words, Melanie.
I would say that life really is a journey. You talked about facing the fear and taking action, but there is something in between all that. And sometimes we're not sure what that is, or sometimes we have an idea of what it is we want to do, and next thing you know it's not. But it's to go through the motions, and it's to learn from everything, and to finally come to that inner peace, I think, that everyone is looking for, right? That happiness, that living it the way you want to live. And so be patient with yourself. Absolutely patient with yourself. But thank you. You are awesome. You are. This was fun. This is fun.
I would continue this.
I do this every Wednesday.
Melanie, I appreciate you. From the moment I've met you, I actually knew of you before I actually met you, because I've heard so many great things about you. But meeting you in person and spending all these quality times together and really getting to know you, sharing our vision, our passion for life, just that love that you have for people. It's just been a great, great blessing. Thank you. I'm really grateful to have you in my life. I'm happy you accepted to be part of this call today. If people want to reach out Melanie, you can find her on Facebook, Melanie Kis. She also has her Instagram as well. Great content that she's constantly sharing, videos and quotes. I'm one of her fans. I told her yesterday. Followers, but follow her on Instagram, follow her on Facebook, see what she's up to. She's always there to contribute to people's lives.
Yeah, and Twitter, and I'm working on YouTube, people.
Be posted, coming soon.
Coming soon, in the works. Oh my goodness, but it's fun. It's all good.
I love it. But thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody that's watching. I will.
Yes, thank you.
Speak with another great guest, other topics to talk about. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share with the people that you love and care about. Jessica DSB.